Are you here to improve your investment strategies? Are you looking for that one article that could help you finalize that decision you were holding off? Well then, get ready to learn more and gain just that subtle extra knowledge to get an edge in the investment business. Because if you're new here, then you've come to the right place. Welcome to the Daily Fortune, a channel where we talk about all the latest news, updates, guides, and strategies related to investment. Of course, with that said, we're going to be discussing a lot about the Oracle of Omaha, Warren Buffett, The Big Short, Michael Burry, the money tree, Cathie Woods, Tesla's very own CEO and eccentric billionaire Elon Musk, along with the rest of the big leagues to learn just a bit more from the professionals. And don't worry, of course we talk about crypto, and we also talk about the best stocks to invest in, along with many tips and tricks on how to handle your finances so you never lose. So before we talk about making money, remember to hit that like button, subscribe, and ring that notification bell as well to make sure you won't miss a single video. Now let's get started. In today's video, we'll be talking about Elon Musk. Yeah, you know, the world's richest man. He's actively trying the most contentious takeover in history. Maybe you already heard this controversy, so using his enormous wealth, Musk is attempting to buy Twitter completely and take the firm private in order to make changes. Despite Musk's incredibly generous offer, the Twitter board is currently scrambling to prevent this kind of deal from happening. So what's going on here? What's gonna happen? Last March 25th, 2022, he polled his 82 million Twitter followers and discovered that 70.4% of them believe Twitter violates free speech norms. Elon Musk set in action a plan to become Twitter's largest individual shareholder in order to influence the company's management team and improve the platform. He purchased 9.2% of the company for $2.9 billion on April 4th and immediately began soliciting opinions from Twitter users on how the platform could be improved. Like, he created a poll to see if Twitter should add an edit button, as well as discuss adjustments and improvements to Twitter Blue and the authentication checkmark system. However, there's a problem. While a 9.2% stake is important, it doesn't grant Elon any power over Twitter's path. Controlling power remains entirely in the hands of the CEO and the board of directors without a controlling share or representation on the board. With Elon already acting as if he owned the firm, it was questioned whether he would be content with a 9.2% ownership stake, especially if the Twitter board decided not to act on his ideas. Twitter's CEO, Parag Agrawal, was the first to notice the impending power struggle, predicting that Elon Musk would be serious about changing Twitter's platform. He presented Elon Musk with a clever deal. He agreed to give Elon Musk a seat on Twitter's board of directors in exchange for him agreeing to limit his ownership holding to 14.9% of the firm, and that would be it. This would allow Elon to legitimately express his viewpoint while still keeping him at a safe distance from the board of directors, which could easily overcome his views if necessary. Elon wouldn't be able to use his riches to simply purchase additional shares, take over the company, and fire the management. It's a wise move. Give Elon what he wants while also avoiding the possibility of losing your job. Elon initially agreed to these terms. He accepted the offer and was scheduled to join the board on April 9th. Parag had a lucky escape, or so he believed, since just a few days later, on the morning that Elon Musk was supposed to join Twitter's board, he informed the company's management that the transaction was off. And then just a few days later, he offered to buy the entire company for $43 billion, or $54.20 per share. That's a 54% premium over the stock price on January 28th, the day before Elon began buying shares in the company, and a 38% premium over the stock price on April 1st, the day before Elon's Twitter stake was publicly announced. Sadly, it didn't look promising for Parag. A public company's CEO and board of directors must act in the best interest of its shareholders. They have fiduciary responsibility under the law. This is why the vast majority of buyout offers are approved. A large firm will make a highly attractive offer to buy the company for 20 to 50% more than the current share price. This represents tremendous potential benefits for shareholders, and the board of directors cannot refuse the offer. However, every now and again, a company that does not want to be purchased may try to block the acquisition. And you got that right. Agrawal and Twitter board of directors are currently attempting to thwart Elon Musk's takeover effort. But there's one legitimate reason and one illegitimate reason why they do this. The valid reason why management would decline a lucrative acquisition offer is that they're doing such a good job on their own that shareholders can realistically expect their company to expand beyond the takeover valuation in the not too distant future. Here's an example. If your lemonade stand is worth $100 and you're growing your sales by 50% every summer, you might turn down a purchase offer of only $150, despite the fact that it's a 50% premium. But sadly, Twitter's business isn't going anywhere. Their net income has dropped from negative 79 million to negative 221 million in the last 10 years, while their free cash flows climbed from a negative 79 million to a high of 869 million before plummeting to a negative 370 million. So that leads us to the less legitimate reason for opposing an acquisition, which is that an inefficient management team is afraid of losing their jobs if the company is acquired. Elon Musk has already declared that he has little faith in Twitter's existing management team. So I believe it's just fair to conclude that the Twitter management understands it and that in order to survive, they must use every trick in the book to prevent Elon Musk's takeover, even if it's against the best interest of Twitter's shareholders. As a result, we have to ask, what are they doing right now? The board unanimously voted to implement a limited duration shareholder rights plan, also known as a poison pill, in an attempt to thwart the takeover. Under the new structure, if any person or group acquires beneficial ownership of at least 15% of Twitter's outstanding common stock without the board's approval, other shareholders will be allowed to purchase additional shares at a discount, according to CNBC. In other words, if Elon Musk starts buying up shares on the open market to try a hostile takeover, once he reaches 15% ownership, existing shareholders will be able to buy shares from the company at a discount. The assumption is that this will result in a large number of new shares that Elon will have to purchase in order to complete the acquisition. For sure, it will dilute the shareholders who choose not to participate, but don't worry about that. However, keep in mind that this is only level 1 of the poison pill scale. If situations get even more desperate, other strategies may be used. For example, if a generous employee stock option plan is implemented that only vests if the company is acquired, the acquired version of the company will appear to be far less desirable than the current version because the cost will be higher and it will be more difficult to retain those employees in the future. What's worse, if the management team wanted to, they could add a golden parachute clause, which would allow Elon to take over the company and fire the management team, triggering a massive bonus package that would both financially harm the company moving forward and also financially benefiting the inept management. As you might imagine, there are a variety of cunning ways they could discourage a possible buyer. However, they aren't beneficial to long-term shareholders. Poison pills, as the name implies, are designed to financially harm a company in the case of an acquisition, making potential acquirers reconsider their decision. However, this dishonest behavior is not without the consequences. The Twitter management staff is undoubtedly under pressure right now. Shareholders are seeking an explanation for why they're rejecting Elon Musk's offer, and Musk continues to criticize them for their deception. Absolutely, it would be completely unjustifiable not to bring this offer to a vote of shareholders, he tweeted last Thursday. And he continued, if the current Twitter board takes actions contrary to shareholder interests, they would be breaching their fiduciary duty. The liability they would assume would be titanic in scale. And he's right, the shareholders are the ones who should make the decision. After all, it's their firm, and they stand to gain a lot from Musk's substantial buyout offer. You could be thinking, if the shareholders benefit, wouldn't Twitter's management team benefit as well? They're the management team, so don't they hold a lot of stock? For example, Apple CEO Tim Cook may earn a base salary of $3 million per year, but he owns 3.28 million shares worth $541 million. If someone bought Apple for a 38% premium, he'd make more money in one transaction than he would in a lifetime of salary payments. The weird thing about Twitter's management staff is that they have almost little stake in the company. They govern the corporation, but they're essentially immune to the consequences of their decisions. This is the chart that was posted on Twitter a few days ago. None of the members of the Twitter board of directors stand to gain a lot from Elon Musk's offer because they don't hold any stock. This is quite odd to see, and yes, it's a major red flag in the world of investing. However, it demonstrates that the management does not gain greatly from the buyout offer, and that their job security is at high risk if the buyout continues. So while it's a little dishonest, you can understand why Twitter management team is acting in that way. So what are your thoughts on Twitter management's ability to adopt the poison pill without shareholder approval? Do you believe they'll be successful? Should the shareholders consider Musk's offer? Do you believe there's a valid basis for them to block the takeover? Just leave a comment in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. So that's it for today. I hope you learned something from today's video, and to get updated with the next videos, don't forget to hit the notification bell. See you next time.